It is of course no secret that I like knitting socks. Over the past 365 days I have been knitting many a pair of socks. This one you might remember, and we're going to finish it. But the thing is, with these many pairs of socks and the fact that I don't have that large size of feet, I have gathered a lot of odds and ends of sock yarn. These are all, you know, partial skeins of sock yarn, probably not enough to be an entire pair of socks on their own. But does that stop me? Of course not. And will you look at the date, my friends, my guys, gals and non-binary pals? It is October 1st, which means that Socktober has begun, a month entirely dedicated to knitting socks. To be entirely honest with you, my Socktober plans are not a brainchild of my brain alone. Together with all these lovely individuals who also happen to be content creators on this place where long-form videos live, we're going to do a Socktober that you could dub #roll for Socktober. The plan is to make just so many chaos socks. I'm not going to limit myself to one pair. No, because the genius part of our idea, of our collaboration, in fact, for this will be a collaboration, all the content creators and myself will put our videos together in one playlist, so you have all the chaotic Socktober content that your heart desires, because I know your heart desires it. So during this collaboration, we all will make just so many chaotic socks. And as I said, it is a genius plan because the fact that it's chaotic socks means that you don't have to stop at 2. 3 socks is good, 4 socks is better, but even 5 socks is okay. Because if they're all non-matching, they're all matching. This might still sound a little bit enigmatic to you, but I will explain while we continue knitting the sock and finishing it in the end. If you are new here, or if you just have been out of the loop and are intrigued by the prospect of Socktober, this is a pair of Mimiko socks by Designs from Mars that I am making. I started them in France on my holiday and I am now finishing them. Why am I doing this on a video that seems nothing else than a collaboration announcement? Well, simply because I think myself that talking head videos are actually kind of boring, so I want to give you something to make this video worth your while. You know, let's finish the sock, let's knit a toe of a sock. I think, I hope that is enough of a project for you to be interested and keep on being interested in watching this video, because I am someone myself that needs visual interest, like changes of camera position and visuals to keep myself engaged with the video, and I think there might be some of you that think the same way as I do. So this is why we are knitting a sock while I'm actually doing just a announcement of this collaboration, a collaboration that I also want to do with you. I want you to be part of this collaboration. So you could say it's also kind of a make-along. So I know it is already October 1st and it would have been better for me to have published this video earlier, to have it be an actual make-along, so it's nothing official or something. But if you do not already have an idea for Socktober, I invite you to join us on our strange journey to roll for Socktober. The final stitch of this dark green has been knit on this pair of socks. So this remnant of sock yarn can also join the collection of yarns that we shall be using for our Roll for Socktober Chaos Socks. Now, what is the actual plan for all these ends of sock yarn? Well, the keenest amongst you all will have gathered that roll for Socktober means that I am once again leaving fate to decide what we're going to do. We will be rolling my trusty little D20 to decide, firstly, which color we're going to knit with, and then also how many rows of that color will be incorporated into that part of the sock. This is how I am going to roll for Socktober. But of course, you're actually kind of free to choose how you will be using a dice or another random number generator method to make your chaos. I know that some of my collaborators actually had the idea to number certain sock construction techniques and then also roll for that. I mean, that's another idea. That's not what I'm going to do, because I thought, well, the genius thing about doing it this way is that every sock will be a purposefully non-matching matching sock. This means that once we get past the first pair, it does not even matter if at the end of October I end up with an odd number of socks, because I can just mix and match. You see? Sometimes there are genius ideas cooking in this pan of mine. I am once again filming on the last bits of sunlight. But I don't think I have to turn on the lights already. There is still enough sun. Just a tiny bit, like autumn has really creeped up on us, like suddenly. It feels like just last week I was still working on my summer videos, and right now we're really into autumn content, like sock knitting. We're preparing ourselves for winter, making sure we're nice and toasty and comfy. And by making sure that I'm nice and toasty and comfy, I have made the last bit of color work on this pair of socks. Now, I had the misfortune of getting to a part of the variegated yarn that was like so low in contrast in comparison to the yarn with which I was making the motifs that you just don't see that there is color work. I say, I do not care. But that also means that this ball can now go into my big bag of chaos. Now, speaking of said big bag of chaos, maybe it's time that we label our yarns so that when October actually comes and we start rolling this dice, we have our yarns already. I might even have more than 20 yarns in this bag, but I will just randomly pick out one, attach it to a number, and whenever during the process of knitting these socks one runs out, then it will be replaced by one of the yarns that is still in the bag. You see, that will be the process. Anyway, let's do it. This rainbow yarn. If I am correct, there should be a second little ball of that yarn. Can't see it, but we'll yeah, there it is. That's the same yarn. So that stays together, of course. Yarn number 1. Number 2 will be bright yellow. And so on and so forth. Well, have you ever? That was exactly 20 scrap bits of yarn. I seem to have a little bit of a type when it comes to sock yarn. I have multiple greens, multiple yellows, and multiple purples. And anything that is not green, yellow, or purple is a variegated skein. This is an interesting exercise. I am learning stuff about myself. Like when I pick yarns for other garments, I will choose more warm colors, more oranges and browns. But I seem to like the color tones, mixed in with some yellow apparently, for my feet. Interesting to see. Anyway, I hope this was not the one stroke of luck that the RNG gods are going to give me, and that in the end we will get some awesome socks with all of this together. In a previous clip of this video, I also did invite you, I think. I mean, I should script my videos better, but I also fear that would hinder the authenticity of it all. Anyway, I think I have invited you to knit along with us. It's not really an official knit along. Like, I'm not going to do the Ravelry group and, you know, all that communication stuff. I do not have the time nor the energy for it. But if you think that this is a really cool idea and you also want to let the random number generator gods decide what socks you should wear and knit, first knit, then wear, sure, knit along. And you could use the hashtag #RollForSocktober for it to share on Instagram or whatever social media of your liking what you are doing. You could also tag me or the other creators that are participating in this little collaboration. All the videos that I will post and that my fellow creators will post on this Roll for Socktober collaboration will all be neatly collected together into one playlist where you can find all of them for your viewers' pleasure. Now, I am not yet entirely sure how many videos I will partition this project in. Right now, my main idea is actually to do 2. Like, apart from this one, so 3 in total. Today you will have the introduction and the preparation to this project, and my plan kind of is to have a mid-October update, and then at the end of October, or well, in the beginning of November, I will show you, well, the second part of October, and of course the finished, however many socks. How does that sound to you all, actually? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this idea, this project, this make-along? I don't know. All thoughts, opinions, comments are welcome, of course. I am actually really excited about the prospect of this project because, firstly, socks. This year really has been my socks and vest year. I don't know, it's apparently all I want to be knitting all of the time. So yeah, of course, socks, I am excited. Also, I just really love to wear socks. I will rephrase that. I just really love to wear my hand-knitted socks. Like, case in point, once again, wearing my hand-knit socks. Like, I'm practically every day wearing, I'm sorry, I'm out of screen. Practically every day I'm wearing a pair of my hand-knit socks. I have replaced my entire sock drawer. So yeah, just something so magical and cozy and comforting about wearing these woolen socks. I wear them spring, summer, autumn, winter, all year long. But also, secondly, I'm a person that really holds on to stuff. I can't really throw away scraps of yarn. Like, you know, they will be useful. They could be useful. And now they are going to be useful. I think it will be a fun way to work up my scraps of sock yarn, which is, as you saw, quite a stash already. Like 20 different colors of sock yarn, of scraps of sock yarn. That's getting a little bit absurd, maybe. I hope that after this project, after this collaboration, this make-along, I will have finished a couple of those tinier scraps, and I will not be left with 20 tiny balls of yarn still. And thirdly, it is not the first time, of course, that I do this video where I let some kind of random number generating system, whether it be dice or my phone, decide what I knit, and it always gives such unexpected but lovely results. I have never disliked a project what I made with the dice or the phone. It's always just the right amount of chaos for this chaos goblin. Huzzah! My socks are done! Yes! And I really do quite like them. Even though the color switching, as I had in mind when I knit these two socks, didn't work out as well as I had hoped. Like, the Malabrigo really doesn't do a good job at being a background color. And ideally, it would have been two of these, because this is an absolutely amazing looking sock. This is good, but this is better. I like this one more. This has more... It feels more intentional, right? I don't know how to describe it. Of the two socks, this one is my favorite. I'm playing favorites with my socks, at least. With this pair, tell me, what do you think about my socks if you have watched both this video and the one where I started knitting them? So yes, friends, this pair of socks is done. And as you have seen, yesterday I also finished preparing for my Roll for Socktober project. This means that we can finish this video. If you like these kind of fiber shenanigans and you want to follow along for the Roll for Socktober shenanigans, maybe even knit some yourself, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you. And as for me, I will see you in the next video, which will not yet be the first iteration of Roll for Socktober, but it'll be fun anyway. But before we do that, here are some more, let's say, knitting videos. Bye!